Hello, the rare gems. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. Most people think bravery is about being loud, fearless, or reckless. But real courage? It's quiet. It's making the hard choices no one claps for. It's walking away from things that no longer serve you, even when it hurts. And Sigma females? They embody this kind of bravery in a way most people can't even comprehend. While others wait for approval, they move. While others cling to comfort, they step into the unknown. While others tolerate mediocrity just to avoid being alone, they walk away without hesitation. The world may not always understand them. They're called cold, distant, or too much. But here's the truth. Their courage makes people uncomfortable because it exposes how many others are too afraid to live on their own terms. If you're a Sigma female, this is your reminder that your strength is rare. You don't follow the herd, and that's not a weakness, it's your greatest power. Keep choosing yourself. Keep setting boundaries, keep walking your own path, even when no one gets it. Because in the end, you won't regret being brave. You'll regret every moment you played small to make others comfortable. Watch the full video to see the 11 ways you are braver than you think, and why the world will never be ready for a woman like you. Let's get started, the rare gems. Number 1. They walk away without a backup plan. Most people only leave when they're sure there's something waiting for them on the other side. A new job, a new relationship, a new safety net to fall into. They wait for certainty before they move because the idea of stepping into the unknown terrifies them. But Sigma females, they walk away with nothing but their instincts. No backup plan, no promises. Just a deep, unshakable belief that whatever comes next, they'll figure it out. This isn't recklessness, it's courage at its purest. Because let's be real, it's easy to leave when you have a new opportunity lined up. It's easy to move on when you have a soft landing, but walking away when you have no idea what's next. That takes a level of self-trust most people will never understand. Sigma females don't stay in soul-sucking jobs just because it pays the bills. They don't stay in draining relationships just because it's better than being alone. And they definitely don't stick around in friendships that feel like obligations. If something is breaking their spirit, suffocating their growth, or draining their energy, they'll cut ties, even if it means walking straight into uncertainty. Why? Because they refuse to betray themselves. They know that every time they stay somewhere they don't belong, they chip away at their own power. They'd rather start over from scratch than wake up one day and realize they spent their life settling. And the crazy part? Things always work out for them. Not because they're lucky, but because they're relentless. When a Sigma female walks away, she doesn't crumble. She rebuilds. She finds a way. She adapts. She thrives. That's what makes her different. That's what makes her dangerous. And that's why the world will never be able to control her. That's not weakness. That's power. Number 2, they say what needs to be said, even when it costs them. Most people bite their tongue to keep the peace. They avoid hard conversations, let things slide, and pretend everything is fine, even when it's not. They'd rather tolerate disrespect than risk upsetting someone. But Sigma females? They don't play that game. If something needs to be said, they say it. If a boundary needs to be drawn, they draw it. If a situation is unfair, toxic, or just plain wrong, they call it out. No sugarcoating, no tiptoeing. They don't do fake peace because they know that silence isn't peace. It's self-betrayal. And here's the thing. This kind of honesty makes people uncomfortable. Some will label them too much. Others will call them difficult, harsh, or intimidating. But Sigma females don't say things to be liked. They say them because they need to be said. They'll lose friends over it. They'll burn bridges. They'll walk into rooms knowing people don't like them simply because they refuse to stay quiet. And they're okay with that, because they know what most people don't. The truth always has a cost. But here's what sets them apart. They're not reckless with their words. They don't speak to hurt. They speak to clarify, to correct, to protect. They don't enjoy conflict, but they refuse to fear it. They don't argue for the sake of arguing, but they'll stand their ground when it matters. And let's be honest, the world needs more of that. Too many people walk on eggshells, afraid to disrupt the status quo. Sigma females, they break the eggshells, clear the floor, and say what everyone else is too scared to admit. That's not rudeness, that's not arrogance, that's bravery, and it's why the world both fears and respects them. Number 3, they never beg for love, friendship, or acceptance. Most people are terrified of being alone. They bend over backwards to keep relationships, even when they're not valued. They shrink themselves to fit in, tolerate disrespect just to be included, and hold on to people who wouldn't lift a finger for them. But Sigma females, they don't play that game. They don't chase. They don't beg. They don't wait around hoping someone will finally appreciate them. They know their worth, and they act like it. If someone values them, great. If not, that's their problem, not theirs. This isn't arrogance, it's self-respect. Sigma females understand that love, friendship, and acceptance should come naturally, not as a result of pleading or proving themselves. They refuse to convince anyone to stay in their life. If a person doesn't see their value, they're free to go, because a Sigma female would rather walk alone than be surrounded by half-hearted connections. And this is exactly what makes them so magnetic. The moment they stop chasing, the right people start chasing them. Why? Because confidence is rare, self-sufficiency is rare. A woman who doesn't need validation is unforgettable. The world teaches people, especially women, that they need to earn love and acceptance, that they need to be more agreeable, more accommodating, more easygoing. Sigma females reject all of that. They don't tone themselves down for anyone. They don't seek approval. They simply exist as they are and let the right people find them. And here's the best part. They never lose. When they walk away, they either leave behind people who didn't deserve them or they make people realize exactly what they lost. Either way, they win. That's the difference between chasing validation and knowing your worth. And that's why Sigma females are in a league of their own. Number 4, they take risks that others are too scared to take. Most people cling to stability like a life raft. They stay in jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, and routines that suffocate them, all because it feels safer than the unknown. They talk themselves out of opportunities, out of dreams, out of the life they actually want, simply because they're afraid to fail. But Sigma females, they'd rather fail than live with regret. To them, stability is overrated. What they want is freedom. The freedom to choose, to explore, to create a life that actually excites them. And if that means taking risks that make other people nervous, so be it. They'll leave a job without another one lined up, because they refuse to waste years doing something that drains them. They'll start a business, even if everyone tells them it's risky, because they believe in their own ability to make it work. They'll move to a new city, travel alone, say yes to things that terrify them, because they know that comfort zones kill dreams. The difference? They trust themselves. They don't need a perfect plan, a guarantee, or anyone's approval. They know that whatever happens, they'll adapt, learn, and keep moving forward. That's what separates them from everyone else. And yes, sometimes they fail. Sometimes things don't go as planned. But they don't see failure as the end. They see it as proof that they were brave enough to try. They'd rather take the leap and deal with the consequences than sit on the sidelines wondering what if. Because at the end of the day, the biggest risk isn't failing. It's never trying at all, and that's a regret Sigma females refuse to live with. At number 5, they don't need permission to change their lives. Most people hesitate before making big life changes. They ask for advice, seek approval, and wait for someone to tell them, yes, you're making the right decision. But Sigma females, they don't wait for a green light. If they feel it's time to change something, they move, fast, unapologetically, and without hesitation. They don't waste time justifying their decisions. If they need to quit a job, they'll quit. If they need to leave a relationship, they'll walk. If they feel the urge to start fresh in a new city, they'll pack their bags. And the best part, they don't ask anyone what they think about it. This is what makes them different. Most people are conditioned to second-guess themselves, to seek validation before making a move. They ask, what will people think? Will they approve? Will they support me? Sigma females, they don't need the world to clap for them. They trust their instincts, make a decision, and handle the consequences, good or bad. And yes, this makes people uncomfortable. Society expects women, especially, to be considerate of everyone else's feelings before making a change. But Sigma females? They prioritize their own well-being over anyone's expectations. They know that waiting for permission is just another way of stalling their own growth. People may call them impulsive, cold, selfish, but they don't care, because at the end of the day, it's their life, their future, their happiness, and they refuse to live it based on someone else's opinion. This is why they succeed. While others hesitate, they take action. While others stay stuck in situations they've outgrown, they move forward. Because if there's one thing Sigma females understand better than most, it's this. No one is coming to give you permission to live the life you want. You have to take it. Number 6, they own their mistakes without excuses. Most people are brave until they're caught in the wrong. That's when the excuses start. It wasn't my fault. I didn't have a choice. If that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have done it. They dodge responsibility, shift blame, and make sure someone else takes the fall. But Sigma females, they don't play that game. If they mess up, they own it. No dodging, no finger pointing, no sob stories, just straight up accountability. They know that making mistakes is part of life, but what matters is how you handle them. Do you pretend it wasn't your fault? Do you make excuses? Or do you face it head on, learn from it, and move forward? Sigma females always choose the third option, and that's rare. In a world where people cling to their pride and refuse to admit when they're wrong, a Sigma female's honesty stands out. They don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. They don't play the victim. They simply take the lesson and keep moving. This level of accountability intimidates people. Why? Because most aren't used to it. They expect defensiveness, excuses, maybe even a little manipulation. But Sigma females don't waste energy protecting their ego. They know that admitting a mistake doesn't make them weak. It makes them stronger, smarter, and more self-aware. And here's the best part. When you own your mistakes, no one can use them against you. People can talk, judge, or criticize, but it won't shake a Sigma female. She already faced the truth, dealt with it, and moved on. That's the power of accountability. It doesn't just build character, it makes you unstoppable. Number 7. They can cut ties with people who once meant everything. Most people hold on to relationships out of habit, guilt, or nostalgia. They convince themselves that just because someone was important once, they should stay in their life forever. Even when the connection turns toxic, even when the respect is gone, even when they're drained, hurt, or betrayed. But Sigma females, they don't do attachments at the cost of their peace. If someone changes for the worse, disrespects them, or no longer aligns with their values, they'll let them go without hesitation. This isn't heartless, this is self-respect. A Sigma female understands a simple truth. Not everyone is meant to stay. People grow, evolve, and sometimes they grow apart. Holding on to the past doesn't bring back the person someone used to be. It only delays the inevitable. That's why when a relationship, whether it's a friendship, a family bond, or a romantic connection, no longer serves them, they walk away. No dramatic goodbyes, no endless second chances, just a quiet, firm decision. This no longer aligns with who I am. And that decision, it takes guts. It's easy to stay in familiar but unhealthy connections. It's easy to convince yourself that history matters more than how you're being treated now. But Sigma females know better. They understand that self-respect is more valuable than sentimental loyalty. And yes, it hurts. Sometimes they cut off people they once would have done anything for. But they also know that keeping someone in their life out of guilt only leads to resentment. So they let go. They grieve if they need to. Then they move on knowing this. It's better to walk alone than to stay where you're no longer valued. At number 8, they keep moving forward, even when no one understands them. Most people crave validation. They want reassurance that they're making the right choices, that others approve, that they're on a path people understand. But Sigma females, they don't need a support committee, even when no one gets them, even when people doubt them, even when they're criticized, questioned, or mocked. They keep going, because at the end of the day, they're not chasing applause, they're chasing results. This is what sets them apart. Most people abandon their ideas the moment they feel misunderstood. They shrink, conform, or explain themselves endlessly, hoping to be accepted. But Sigma females, they don't waste energy convincing people. If others don't see their vision, that's fine. They'll just build it without them. And this isn't easy. There's a special kind of loneliness that comes with thinking differently, moving differently, and refusing to follow the herd. But Sigma females embrace that solitude because they know what's on the other side: freedom, success, and a life on their own terms. They've learned that waiting for people to get it is a waste of time. Some will eventually. Most won't. And that's okay, because they're not here to be understood. They're here to do what they came to do. And when the results start showing, that's when everyone suddenly understands. Number 9. They face themselves in the darkest moments. Most people will do anything to avoid sitting alone with their thoughts. They drown themselves in distractions, mindless scrolling, constant noise, endless socializing, anything to avoid facing what's really going on inside. Because deep down, they know that silence will force them to confront their fears, regrets, and insecurities. But Sigma females don't run. They sit in that silence. They stare into their own darkness. They face the parts of themselves that others bury under denial and distraction. This isn't easy. It's brutal. Because when there's nowhere left to hide, you have to deal with the real you, the unfiltered, raw, imperfect version of yourself, the version that carries pain, self-doubt, and memories that still sting. Most people aren't willing to do that kind of inner work, but Sigma females, they don't have a choice, because they know the truth. You can't outrun yourself. Facing your own darkness is the only way to grow, to heal, to evolve into someone stronger. And while others hide from their reality, Sigma females confront it head-on. They pick apart their past, analyze their mistakes, and work through their pain instead of pretending it doesn't exist. They don't need constant distractions, temporary escapes, or fake positivity. They understand that real strength comes from embracing the hard truths, not avoiding them. And that's what makes them different. While the world keeps running, searching for anything to fill the silence, Sigma females stand still and listen. Because in that silence they find what others never will: clarity, wisdom, and the kind of strength that can't be shaken. At number 10, they protect their energy like their life depends on it. Most people treat their energy like it's unlimited. They waste it on meaningless arguments, toxic people, and drama that doesn't serve them. They feel obligated to engage in negativity just because it's happening around them. But Sigma females, they don't play that game. To them, energy is their most valuable asset, and they guard it fiercely. They don't get sucked into pointless debates. They don't engage in battles that have nothing to do with them. They don't let people drain them with unnecessary drama. If something disrupts their peace, distracts them from their goals, or drains them emotionally, it's gone. No hesitation, no guilt, no apologies. And let's be real, this makes some people uncomfortable, because the world expects women to be available for emotional labor, to always listen, always help, always be involved. But Sigma females, they refuse to be an emotional dumping ground. They've mastered the art of disengagement. They don't need to prove a point, argue back, or explain why they're walking away. They just remove themselves. This isn't avoidance, it's strategy. They know that not every battle deserves their attention, not every issue needs their involvement, and not every person deserves access to their mind and emotions. And the result? They move differently. While others are emotionally exhausted from dealing with unnecessary chaos, Sigma females stay focused, energized, and at peace. Because at the end of the day, protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's survival. Number 11. They make decisions that others avoid. Most people freeze when faced with big decisions. They hesitate, overthink, and second-guess every possible outcome. They seek endless opinions, stall for time, and hope that if they wait long enough, the right answer will magically appear. But Sigma females, they don't waste time in limbo. They trust their instincts, make a call, and act, because they know that indecision is the real failure. A Sigma female understands that no decision is ever perfect. There will always be risks, unknowns, and possible regrets. But waiting forever? That's the biggest risk of all. While others sit on the fence, trapped by fear and what-ifs, Sigma females move forward. Even if they make the wrong call, at least they made a call. And because they're adaptable, they can always adjust, learn, and pivot if needed. This is what makes them different. They don't need all the answers before they take action. They don't wait for conditions to be perfect or for someone to give them permission. They weigh their options, trust their gut, and take the leap. And here's the truth. Most people admire this, but they also fear it, because it exposes their own hesitation. While they're stuck in analysis paralysis, watching opportunities slip away, Sigma females are already 10 steps ahead. And even when they fail, they own it. They don't waste time making excuses or blaming circumstances. They take responsibility, adjust, and keep moving. Because to them, progress matters more than perfection. At the end of the day, Sigma females understand one thing clearly. The people who wait too long to make decisions never get anywhere, and they refuse to be one of them. In conclusion, the quiet strength of Sigma females. Bravery isn't loud, it isn't flashy. It's not about proving anything to the world. Real bravery is quiet, unshakable, and deeply personal, the kind that Sigma females embody every single day. They don't need an audience to validate their strength. They don't seek approval before making bold moves. They don't let fear dictate their choices. Instead, they trust themselves, even when the path is unclear, even when no one understands, even when the stakes are high. While others hesitate, they act. While others seek permission, they walk away. While others avoid hard truths, they face themselves head-on. That's bravery. And if you're a Sigma female, never let anyone make you feel like your strength is a flaw. Never shrink yourself to make others comfortable. The world may not always understand your choices, but that's because you're moving on a level they can't see yet. So keep going, keep choosing yourself, keep walking into the unknown with nothing but your own instincts to guide you, because in the end it's not about being fearless, it's about moving forward despite the fear. And that's what makes you unstoppable. Thanks for watching The Rare Gems. See you in our next video. Bye for now and God bless.